And we are back for some more 5 Seconds of Summer. I recently actually checked out one of their songs, really enjoyed it, was digging the vibe. The song was called Easier. So what we have here is a Zach Sang interview clip pulled up. Guys, if you like my videos, hit the subscribe button. All right, let's start the video.
We've taken the constructive criticism of the last 10 years and made an album based on, like, we hear it all, you know?
Yeah. What is that criticism?
All you guys don't sing enough. I miss the songs that are more like rock. I miss the angst. You know, some people even like Don't Stop.
Well, some people do like Don't Stop.
Here's the thing.
Apparently there are some of them out there.
and we take it all into account, you know? This is for the Don't Stoppers.
Ashton seems to maybe have his guard up a little more in this interview than in the previous interviews that I've seen. I see that with artists having their walls up sometimes because of public and media scrutiny. But I feel like he's kind of got this edge. It feels like there's this wall up where he's almost like pissed off in a way. I don't know if I'm going to call it sass, but there definitely seems to be more of an edge to him here.
What's the problem with Don't Stop?
There's no problem with it.
It had its own category.
That's a fair rebuttal.
All right, that is totally fair.
Okay. As a musician, here's what it's doing.
It had its own category.
Here's what it's doing. There's certain beats, like for instance,
Ashton clearly, from what I've seen, takes the lead when it comes to these interview communication type settings.
Totally fair.
Okay.
And he's really good at it, right? He's very articulate, expresses himself well, more on the extroverted side. Luke to me, Michael to me, they feel a little bit more introverted. Although I've commented on Michael, I feel like he can go both ways depending on his mood.
It has an uplifting, positive, awkward energy that the band's edgier musical approach does not fit into. So it's uncomfortable for us to wear those shoes. It's like me having a 12 size boot trying to fit into a size 4 slipper.
I think a good communication skills tip is when you're talking to someone and you're explaining your thought process behind something, if you can use a clear example, or in this case, a clear analogy, it helps just further illustrate your point.
It's like me having a 12 size boot trying to fit into a size 4 slipper.
And that's what communication is all about. It's about getting your point from A to point B as effectively as possible. He's a great representative for this group from a leadership communication standpoint because he's able to articulate the energy of the group and sort of the mission of the group and the feel of the group, and he's able to articulate that very clearly to the world.
Which is like, it's cool, we dig it, but we have potentially
bigger feet.
Yes. We just shooting for something else these days, which is cool.
Yeah, different.
But Don't Stop's not bad.
It really isn't.
It's okay.
I think the whole category was good. Like, a Don't Stop playlist is...
If Ashton were to take a personality test, my guess is he would lean slightly on the extroverted side. Notice what he's doing in the conversation here. Yes, he is leading the conversation, but he's also giving space for other people to speak when he finishes speaking. So he finishes his thought, he finishes his idea. He's not rambling on. He finishes his idea, pauses, looks at the other guys who are interviewing him, and waits to see if they have anything to say next.
Potentially.
Bigger feet.
Yes.
So really good interpersonal interaction skills demonstrated here by our boy Ashton. I'm like standing Ashton.
Don't Stop, we didn't put it at the bottom or at the top. Don't Stop. It had its own category, smack bang in the middle.
But
it was smack bang in the middle.
A quick note is longevity from the internal perspective of the band is based on, are we playing music that we love today? Because that will keep us going for a long time, because we're not in the game of doing stuff we don't like to do all the time. Like, we like to make the choices that make the band happy, unfortunately.
In terms of longevity, you have to do the stuff that you like doing. I truly believe if you want to build something big, you have to love what you do. That's interesting to hear that Ashton said that. He's really controlling the pace of this conversation. Ashton's the one that's dictating the pace to me. And although, the other guys, Michael and Luke, are chiming in at times.
Don't Stop, we didn't put it at the bottom or at the top. Don't Stop.
I think Ashton feels very passionate here. I think he has a lot of opinions, strong opinions, that he feels that he wants to express right now, and he is expressing them.
Are we playing music that we love today?
And he's just like, you know what? No more goody two-shoes in a way. I'm just going to be me. Let's just be us.
Your list. What comes? Like, do you go make music after ranking all?
Yeah, we did actually.
Yeah, we did. That was like adding some.
Ashton, like his energy right now and his body language is in like no bullshit mode. He'll call you on any bullshit right now. He's on one right now.
Yeah, we did. That was like adding some stuff to the album tracks, like adding, you know, another synth part or adding another vocal that didn't sound quite right out in the desert or whatever. Like just finishing stuff after that tier.
It does feel like Ashton's kind of in his own world in this interview. I just feel like he's sort of ruminating over the thoughts that he wants to say, also thinking about maybe what he said in the past, but I'm just getting the sense that he's in his head in terms of like he's ready to sort of get his piece out. That's what I sense. Let's pull up the secondary clip here.
Like
Yeah.
the songs
It's
are
very
written
close.
and recorded.
Yeah.
Compositionally, it's finished.
Are you just gonna call it 5 Sauce 5?
What do you think?
Yes.
Why? Would that let you down creatively?
Yeah.
If you heard every lyric on this record, say you got 20 songs of personal experiences, and then someone's like, 5 Sauce 5?
Ashton is bringing a real element to this conversation. It's almost like Zach's like, all right, I'm going to take a back seat here, let Dan lead the way. I think his name's Dan. But it's interesting. I think the guys as well, they're kind of looking at Ashton and they realize like, okay, Ashton's taking the lead here. It's almost like he's asking questions in a challenging way. Like he wants to get a certain answer
What do you think?
out of the interviewer here, you know, as opposed to just asking out of genuine curiosity. Although Ashton is giving them the space to finish because he still does have that awareness. It's like he is kind of just, in a way, it seems like waiting for them to finish in order for him to start speaking. Like I said, he's on one.
Try for something a little bit more creative,
Okay,
right?
but here,
We
here's,
worked so hard on this album.
here's the
we go
pro-
all the way to fucking Joshua Tree.
Yes, Zach.
We sit in traffic to get there.
Okay.
And you're
Ashton likes what Zach's saying here because Zach's empathizing with them. And I think that's what Ashton wants. I think Ashton wants people to empathize with him and understand all the hard work that they've been through.
Opinion. So you guys are good creative guys. So get this.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes.
So you either give it an overly creative name that could be slightly forgettable.
And that's a way to get someone to listen to you, right? Throwing a compliment before getting into your line of thinking.
You guys are good creative guys. So
But if you want to engage someone, if you say something about them, especially if it's complimentary, if it's positive, I think that's actually a good way to get people engaged in the conversation. It's like, oh, okay, so now, you brought me into the conversation, you've said something positive about me, okay, now you've got my full attention. So just a little technique there we can learn from Ashton.
You know, naming an album is hard.
and many bands have been here. Maroon 5 was here.
you're right.
They were here like 2 weeks ago.
They could have said
They called Maroon 5 V. They went, oh, not 5, maybe V. That'll do it. And I totally get it.
And I'd bet you that's the exact thought process.
Fifth album, V.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
fair
call
enough.
it Maroon 5-5.
No.
Maroon 5
Maroon 5.
You're kind of seeing their rapport at the end and how they kind of just play off each other really, really well. And it was nice to hear Callum speak. Callum actually seems very comfortable with himself. He's got this really chill vibe where he doesn't need to say much, but when he speaks, he seems quite confident with what he says. I think they play off each other really well. Like Ashton sort of taking the lead in these conversations. Maybe he is actually even more extroverted than I originally thought. And then, you know, you've got Michael who can turn it on. I like the way Michael communicates as well, and he's a deeper thinker too. And then Luke kind of riffs off Ashton really well too. Let me just go back to this last little clip here.
Okay, so we have different roles in the band. And as I was saying, it's not just drummer. In many ways, I'm the vibe guy in this band. I'm the guy coming in early with the incense, the candles, the vitamins, the literature.
That's actually
That's
very
true.
true.
It
And
is
I'm putting
true.
it out.
true.
This is my real job, ladies and gentlemen.
From a communication standpoint, to me, Ashton is just very comfortable with being heard, with being seen. It just feels like everything he is saying to him feels important. So he's raising the volume of his voice. He's making his words clear and pronounced.
I'm the vibe guy.
So these are all signs of being comfortable with being seen and being heard.
And we have other things to do apart from make music, like heal ourselves. And I think if we could do that, we could definitely make music on the side.
Needed, right? Like, can you
Yeah.
make really quality music without healing your brain or taking proper magnesium?
Yeah, it goes side by side, you know, because a songwriter.
And I did sense there's a deeper side to these guys when I checked out a couple of their songs. And that's why I really was interested in checking them out even more. It's I listen to their music, I'm like, okay, there's depth to these guys. There really is. And what Ashton's saying, I sensed that from Michael right off the bat, but Ashton, he's seeming to be on this like path of enlightenment, it sounds like.
Path is staying truthful and clear, being able to view yourself and view what you mean and what you want to say. And if you're all clouded up, and first you got to deal with the clouds, you know, before you dive in.
Amen.
Very well said. I 100% agree with that. Very well said. You want to express yourself clearly, honestly, confidently. You got to deal with all the other stuff first. Guys, as always, if you want to watch the uncut version of this video, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. The link is in my description below. Other than that, my name is Max. I will catch you soon. Peace.